Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to pay my respects to the Most Venerable Dr. Paramahansa Suttiyano, the abbot of Prithapanya Society in Pomona, California. After that, I respectfully greet all the venerable monks and all laymen and lay women. Also, a very warm welcome to everyone watching us on Facebook Live. Before I begin the Dharma talk, I would like to share a short update about my studies here in the United States. Right now, I am ESL Level 4 student at San Antonio College. Exactly in my class, I practice speaking, writing, reading, pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, something like that. But next semester, I will be moving up to ESL Level 5. In addition to my language studies, I'm very excited to share that I will be studying the photography, like a certificate program at the Design Technology, in the coming up academic term. To be honest, I'm not an expert in English yet. I'm still a beginner, but little by little, On this occasion, I want to say a big thank you to the Most Venerable Dr. Paramahansa Suttiyano for his great kindness, guidance, support, and for his kind permission allow me to study this photography program. At the same time, I am also very thankful to all the venerable monks and all the people who helped me and let me come to United States to study. Because of your kindness, I have the chance to learn real American English, practicing natural pronunciation, and learn directly from native speakers. Exactly, I have the opportunity to pursue further education in an academic setting. Gives me a wonderful chance to grow and expand my knowledge. As a result, this helps me improve my English and gives me more confidence when give them a talk in English. I truly appreciate your trust and compassion. Therefore, I will study hard and use this knowledge to help others. Okay, now moving to today's topic, I would like to share Dharma story about Elder Julapantho. To begin with, this story comes from Dhammapada, part 2. To start with the verse, Uttanena Pamatena Sanyamena Tamena Ja Tipangayirata Metavi Yang Okhona Pikirati ผู้มีปัญญาพึงทำที่พึ่งที่ห่วงน้ำท่วมทับไม่ได้ด้วยความหมั่นด้วยความไม่ประมาทด้วยความระวังและด้วยความฝึก By effort, being careful, self-control, and discipline, the wise person builds on Iceland that no flood can sweep away. Just let's continue, because we didn't finish this story yet. Where were we? Okay. I think I will finish this story today. Okay, let's continue. If you miss something, just go to the other video, the other live. You can see it. Okay, let's continue. She walked, right? หมอ she walked She walked to a man. Okay. If somebody missed something, just let's see the other live. I mean I mean my video. You know, if maybe somebody, if you didn't listening before, is gonna be confused. She walked to a man, go to the temple and say, the Buddha calls the monks. The man went to the temple. At that time, Julapantok made himself look like 1,000 monks because he wanted to show his power. Some monks were fixing ropes, some were coloring ropes, and some were reading. The man saw 1,000 monks and went back and said, "There are no monks, sir. There are 1,000 monks." Then Chivok said, "Go and say the Buddha calls the monk named Julapantok." The man went and said that 1,000 monks said, "I am Julapantok." The man grabbed the hand of one monk and thought, "I will bring this monk." But all the other monks stood up and followed too. The man brought him, even though he was Julapantok. The Buddha says, "If so, go and say before you grab him, 'I am Julapantok.' Grab his hand, and the other forms will go away." The man did like that. About 1,000 monks went away at that time. The old monk came back with the man. When they finished eating, the Buddha told Chivok, "Take the bowl of Julapantok. This Julapantok will speak the blessing for you." Julapantok did so. The monk spoke with a strong voice like a young lion. "Give a blessing." The Buddha stood up and went to the temple with the monks. When all the monks finished their work, the Buddha stood up at his room, gave the final teaching, talked to the monks, let them go, and went inside the room. He lay down on his right side. At that time, the monks sat and talked together. They praised the good qualities of the Buddha. The Buddha said, "Oh monks, Mahapantok didn't know the mind of Julapantok, so he couldn't teach him even one plum. In 4 months, and pushed him out of the temple, thinking he was a foolish man. But the Samma Sambuddha gave him full wisdom in just the time of 1 meal, because he is the great Dhammaraja. The Tipitaka came with full wisdom right there. At that time, the Buddha knew this in the Dhamma hall and thought, I'll go there right now." He stood up and put on his robes, walked out of his room, and went to the Dhamma hall. He walked nicely like a big royal elephant. He sat down on the big seat in the middle of the hall and shone with 6 colors, like the sun shining over the Yukanton mountain. When the Samma Sambuddha arrived, all the monks stopped talking and became quiet. The Buddha looked at the monks and thought, "This group of monks is very good. They don't move their hands or feet. They don't cough or sneeze. No one makes a sound. All the monks have a big respect for the Buddha. If I sit down and say nothing at all day, no monk will speak first. I must speak first." He talked to the monks with a sweet voice like a Brahma, and asked, "Monks, what are you talking about?" When the monks told him, the Buddha said, "Monks, Julabantong is not a foolish man only today. In the past, he was a foolish man too. And I held him not only today. In the past, I held him too. In the past, I made Julabantong rich in worldly things. But now I make him rich in holy things." All the monks wanted to hear that story. So the Buddha told the old story, like a shadow, Long ago, a young man from Paranasi city went to Takasila city to study art with their teacher, Tisapamo. He helped the teacher a lot in every way. Among the 5,000 young men, Julabantong did everything like rubbing feet, but because he was a foolish person, he couldn't learn anything. Even when the teacher tried hard to teach him, he couldn't learn, He stayed for a short time, but he couldn't remember even one verse. So the teacher said, "Go away." The teacher thought, "This student helps me a lot. I want him to be smart, but he cannot, I just help him. I will give him a special magic spell." The teacher brought him inside and taught him this spell. Katesi, kinkarana, ahangpi, tang shanami. You try hard. Why do you try hard? Even I know you. The teacher made him read and say it back hundreds of times. Then he asked, "Do you remember?" The boy said, "Yes, sir." The teacher said, "A foolish person must practice a lot so he won't forget," and gave him food for the road, saying, "Go, use this spell, earn a living, but so that you don't forget the spell, you must practice saying it every day." After saying this, when he arrived in Paranasi city, his mother and father made a big celebration with great happiness, saying, "Oh son, our son has finished studying art and come back." At that time, the king of Paranasi thought, "Did I do anything wrong with my body or action because of bad deeds?" When he couldn't find anything he did wrong, he thought, "Usually people don't see their own bad points, but the other people see them. I'll go and check how the people live." After thinking that, he put on a disguise and went out in the evening. He thought in the evening people talk about different things while eating. If I am a bad king, people will say, "We are hurt by an unfair king who takes our money with fines and taxes." But if I am a good king, people will say, "May our king live for a long time," and they will praise me. Thinking this, he walked from house to house. At that time, some thieves who make a living by digging holes were digging a hole thought through the wall of the house to go inside. The king saw them and hid in the dark. When the thieves dug into the house to steal things, the young man woke up and said his spell, "Katesi, kinkarana, ahang pitang shanami. The thieves heard that, got very scared, doffed their clothes, and ran away in one direction, saying, "This mother knows us. He will kill us now." The king saw the thieves run away and heard the young man say the spell. The king went back to his place And in the morning, the king told a guy, "Go, the thieves dug a hole in that house on that street. There is a young man who learned art from Takasila city. Bring him here." The king asked him. The guard went and brought the young man. The king asked him, "My boy, did you learn art from Takasila city?" Young man, "Yes, Lord." "Your word is over my head, king. Please teach me your art." Young man, "Okay, Lord. Sit down on the seat like mine and learn." The king learned the spell from him and gave him 1,000 coins, saying, "This is a gift for your teachers." At that time, the army leader talked to our executioner, the man who kills bad people for the king. When will you use the royal sword, killer, tomorrow or next tomorrow?" The army leader gave 1,000 coins to him and said, "I have a job for you. When the king asks, you say, 'I'll cut the head of the king,' and you will be the army leader and be king. Say yes on the day of the execution. Put perfume on the king's neck, wrap the sword, and think, 'The sword is a little bit dull. I should cut the king's neck in one hit.' Think like that, stand on one side, and wave the sword again." At that time, the king remembered his spell. He said, "Kate si kinkarana ahang pitang shanami. Sweat flowed down from the face of the killer. He thought the king knew. He got scared, threw the sword down on the ground, and bowed down at the king's feet. The kings are smart. He asked him, "Hey, bad man, did you think the king didn't know you?" Killer, "Please forgive me, Lord. King, it's okay. Don't be afraid. Tell me the truth." Killer, "Lord, the army leader gave me 1,000 coins and told me to cut the king's neck so he can be king and make me the army leader." The king heard his and thought, "I saved my life because of my teacher." He told a guard to call the army leader and said, "Why do you do this to me? Get out of my country." He sent him away from the country. Then he called the teacher and said, "Teacher, I saved my life because of you." Then he gave a big gift and made the teacher the army leader. The young man at that time was Julapantok, and the teacher was Tisapamok. The Buddha told this story and said, "Monks, Julapantok was like this in the past too. He helped you stay rich in worthy things. People say it is great that the Buddha is now the helper of Julapantok." He told the story from the Julasetaka shadow and said this first: "The smart person who sees clearly can grow a small amount of money into a lot, like a person who starts a small fire and makes it a big fire." Then the Buddha said, "Monks, my helping Julapantok is not only today. In the past, I helped him too. In the past, I made Julapantok rich in worldly things, but now I make him rich in holy things." Then he connected the story. The young man at that time is Julapantok now, and the rich man Julaka Sethi, who knew the stars at that time, was myself. Another day, the monks talked in the Dharma hall. Friends, the old monk Julapantok couldn't learn four verse in 4 months, but he didn't give up. Now he is an arahat and rich in holy Dharma. The Buddha came and asked, "Monks, what are you talking about?" When the monks told him, the Buddha said, "Monks, a monk in our religion who try hard will get holy Dharma." Then he said this verse, the smart person should make a safe place in the deep ocean of life by being strong, not lazy, careful, and practicing well. I'm gonna start with the verse again. อุทาเนนะปมาเทนะสัญญาเมนะทะเมนะจะทีปังกายิราถะเมทาวียังโอโคนาภิกิรติผู้มีปัญญาพึงทำที่พึ่งที่ห่วงน้ำท่วมทับไม่ได้ด้วยความหมั่นด้วยความไม่ประมาทด้วยความระวังและด้วยความฝึก by effort being careful self-control and discipline, the wise person builds an island that no flood can sweep away. Okay, it is a story about Julapantok, you know. Okay, my story was done. This story was done. Okay, I hope the story of the elder Julapantaka will bring some inspiration and mindfulness to everyone today. Before we finish, I want to say heartfelt thanks to everyone for listening to me almost 20 minutes. I truly appreciate your patience and kind attention. I would also like to express my deepest gratitude once again to the most Venerable Dr. Paramahajanya Suttiyano, and all the venerable monks, and everyone for your ongoing support. May you all feel with good health, happiness, and success in your daily lives and patience. Thank you. And I'll see you again on today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll see you again on Sunday. Okay. And we're gonna talk about Dhammapada again, but let me see which story. I don't know what story.